Then let's have Honorable Kimani Kuria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance to contribute to Supplementary Appropriation Bill of 2021. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, this supplementary bill seeks to authority to disburse 125.16 billion out of the consolidated fund and the application towards services applied to government for the year ending June of 2021. Mr. Speaker, I was asking myself, where are we here at the supplementary budget? Why are these expenses that we want to the distribution of approved at the supplementary budget not there in the main budget? And Mr. Speaker, the biggest reason that we were given on as a committee of budget and committee was poor revenue performance due to especially the COVID-19 pandemic that begot us last year. Mr. Speaker, but also we are here because this House, in its wisdom, following a request by His Excellency the President, reduced several taxes that would have netted the gap that we are trying to finance today. The reduction of income tax from 30% to 25%, VAT from 16% to 14%, and the bandwidth that we removed for pay, Mr. Speaker. And as a result, we find ourselves with not being able to finance the budget that we passed as a House, and therefore now coming up with this supplementary budget. So, but is it important? Do we need to do this? Mr. Speaker, once we approve this supplementary budget, it's going to unlock funds that should be, once we approve this appropriation bill, it's going to unlock funds that will be disbursed to our constituencies as CDF funds. It's going to go towards payment of pending mills and completion of government projects, Mr. Speaker. The pending mills, Mr. Speaker, has been a great concern for this House. In its case, Mr. Speaker, it's an illegality that year in, year out, we must discuss usually a supplementary budget to approve disbursement of payment of pending mills. When I served in the Committee of Public Accounts Committee, the question of pending mills has been flagged off by the internal auditor every year. And we sit down and ask, why is it that we always have these pending bills every year, year in, year out? And what they do, Mr. Speaker, they crowd out the availability of finances to business people. And that's why we have people that do not necessarily want to work with government unless you are a multi-billionaire. That you cannot possibly, a young person cannot possibly go and take a loan at the bank at 14% interest per annum to go and do a government project and expecting that they're going to get a payment after they do the work and that will go towards paying that bill. The pending bills in the National Youth Service, the pending bills by prisons, that is correction services, has been a discussion of this House since I joined Parliament in 2017. So what is happening? Why are these accounting officers refusing, because I think the key word here to use is refuse, to distribute these funds towards payment of this pending mills, Mr. Speaker? The issue of expenditure has been discussed, and I want to overemphasize the issue of parastatus. Our committee in its wisdom refused to appropriate funds for institutions like Utalii College, Mr. Speaker. We have these government institutions, parastatus, like Utalii College, and it does not make sense why they make losses. Academic institutions in this country are making billions of shillings. We have institutions like Mount Kenya University, a private institution that has opened branches across Africa. So why is it that this college, called Utalii College, is making losses, and you go across Boma College, this owned by Red Cross, that is offering the same training facilities was being offered by Utalii College, is making a lot of money as profits. Although the hospitality industry has been hard hit by this COVID, we still have many restaurants or many hotels posting profits. Why is it that Utalii Hotel continues to post losses, Mr. Speaker? And this really speaks to imprudent use of government resources. This speaks to imprudent use of, that is plunder in our government institutions, and this has to change. So this House has to make a decision. Do we really need to have government offering these services to the people through this government parastatus? Or do we just need to collapse all of them and send all of them home and just offer those essential services that can only be offered by government? So if training can be offered by a private institution, then let a private institution offer that service, that training, and not government. If a hotel product, for example, hospitality industry, can be offered by the private sector, let it be offered by the private sector and not by government, by a government institution. Because this, Mr. Speaker, just leads to plunder in the use of these government funds, Mr. Speaker. I'll speak into disbursement of these funds. That once we approve as a House that we are appropriating these funds to these ministries, it is at the discretion of Treasury to know which funds should be distributed when. Mr. Speaker, we are here, and last week we had almost a standstill when it came to with this supplementary, because funds that were supposed to go to CDF had not been disbursed. And whereas some government institutions, some ministries had been disbursed 100% of their requests. So why is it that money that should go directly to Wanjiko down there is not disbursed on time? I'll even give another example. Last week we had comrades, university students, saying that they'll go on strike because funds that is meant for their higher education has not been disbursed to them. Mr. Speaker, I am a product of HELB. I am here because I came from a village with nothing, went to Kenyatta University, but were it not for the higher education principle that I received, I probably will not be debating this issue here at the floor of this House. So why is it that Treasury knows that there are these comrades that are suffering? These are the next, the future generation that we expect them to come back and build the economy. But we know we do not have CDF, so we cannot even disburse bursaries to them, and yet we fail to disburse these monies to them. And I think this is the decision that Treasury needs to make. And I wish that the people that sit at the helm of these institutions would understand the plight of that average Kenyan and put their money where the mouth is. So those programs that really touch on government spending, that really touch on the local mwananchi, that is a preference that this disbursement should be made, Mr. Speaker. And with those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you.